Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tattletales. Nice to have you at home with us. Nice to have all of you, too. I heard some squeals and all kinds of noise going on out here today. We got a good group, haven't we? What are you holding up there, young lady? You're making signals with that? I see. She's talking to Jean, her darling. You know what section that came from, don't you? From the banana section. Need I say more? Are you ready to meet our celebrities today? I'm ready. Here we go. On my left, winning money for the blues section. The star of Match Game 74. You might have heard of him or seen him occasionally. Mr. Gene Rayburn and his wife, Helen. Helen, it's lovely to see you again. It's been not since New York have I seen you. How are you?
I'm very well and delighted to be here.
Well, it's nice to have you, and I have to tell you, you can't see or hear what's going on out here, but there is a girl in the banana section who is absolutely hysterical over Jean.
Oh, how nice.
Listen,
I'm a little upset by it, but what do you want to do?
The one time I came to California with my wife, you have to be in the audience.
You told her to never... Hey, Jean, didn't you tell her never to call you at work?
No. Told you never to come here.
Winning money for the banana section today. Newcomers on our show. Let's give him a big welcome. Star of Mass, Mr. Gary Berghoff and his wife, Janet. How are you, Janet?
Fine, thank you.
Are you ready to go?
Sure.
Rookies have a very good reputation on our show. They usually do very well.
Janet, I don't know what she's doing in the banana section. I swear I never met the girl in my life.
There's a girl in the banana section that's just having a wonderful time out here today.
That's right. She's in
we
a good
hope we
place.
all have half as much fun as she's having, don't we, gang? In fact, nothing has happened yet, and she's having a wonderful time. We have some old friends of ours representing the red section today. He hasn't been here, and they haven't been here for quite a while. Let's welcome them, shall we? Mr. Frank Gilbert and his wife, Amanda Blake. Amanda, how are you, dear?
I'm very fine, Bert.
It's
How are
good
you?
to see. I'm fine. Big Frank, how are you?
Great.
Last time you were here, you guys had a wonderful time, and we had a wonderful time with you, too. So I hope we repeat.
I hope so.
If you are ready, I am ready. Here comes the voice questions worth $150, and this is it. Ladies, it's addressed to you. Girls, according to a lot of plant enthusiasts, according to a lot of plant enthusiasts, your fern will really do well if you talk to it, so that it knows it is loved and wanted. Now, assuming that you both spoke to your ferns in endearing terms every day, at the end of a month, who would have the bigger fern? I'm going to repeat that for you. Don't say a word. According to a lot of plant enthusiasts, your fern will really do well if you talk to it, so that it knows it is loved and wanted. Now, assuming that you both spoke to your ferns in endearing terms every day, at the end of a month, who would have the bigger fern? Think about it, ladies. We'll come back for your answers in just a moment. There they go. Now, Jean, you've got this big pot, see? It's hanging in one of the rooms of your house.
It is.
Each of you have one.
Yeah.
And you talk to it in endearing terms.
Naturally.
For a whole month. Whose is going to be bigger at the end of that month? Yours or Helen's?
It's hard to tell. I haven't talked to my fern in ages.
I understand.
I've talked to my freen, but
Your
not to my fern. Helen really has a green thumb, and I don't. And I would have to say that her fern would be bigger than my fern.
Okay.
That's what I have to say.
You don't have to say that, but you're going to say that.
I'm going to say that.
Do you
Her
think
fern.
Helen is going to say that, more importantly?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That okay with you, Blue Section? Yeah. Let's bring on Helen and find out. Helen, at the end of that month, both of you talking endearingly to your ferns, whose is going to be the bigger or the biggest?
I really think Jean's would be.
That's not what Gene said, Helen. I'm sorry, that's not what the man said.
I said, you know, you've got a green thumb and I don't, dear girl.
I have no green thumb. I look at them, they dive, and you're a gentle soul.
Well, we don't seem to be hitting it off too well here, do we? I'm sorry, no score there, Helen. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, Gary, what's Janet going to say?
Well, we're both very good with plants. We just had a skylight put in the ceiling to let all the light pour in and everything. But ferns are not our specialty for either one of us. Listen, fella. Take it easy. You were young, just starting once yourself. But right now, Janet's got the fern. She's got a Boston fern that isn't doing too well. So I think that she would probably be, and I'm always criticizing her, and I've lost at least 12. So I think that she would probably say that I was better because hers
Having
is
trouble with
on the
one
way
now.
out.
A
at
Boston
this time.
fern is hard to kill. I mean,
It is?
yeah, because I can't do anything, but we have a bunch of Boston ferns, and they do pretty well.
Maybe we should take it out of the closet.
You think that's it? Could have something to do with it, you know. Okay, you're going to say that
It's a
she will
closet
say.
fern.
You'll say that she will say you'll be better.
Yes.
Isn't that what you said?
That's what I said.
Okay.
Well, aren't you listening?
I wanted to hear it back to be sure that I knew what I heard you say. Let's bring on Janet. Janet, who do you think would have the bigger fern at the end of a month with all that endearing talk and so forth?
Well, it's funny that the plant should be a fern. Gary would definitely say his would be bigger.
That's what the man said. You're right. Janet, is it funny that he says fern because you happen to be having
A very big argument
trouble?
about a fern trouble, yes.
I understand. All right. Well, you're not having any trouble here. You have a share of the pot. Thank you. Frank, what's Amanda going to say?
Who knows? I'll tell you, we could do a lot better with other things. But since you're going to restrict it to ferns.
Well, yeah, we don't
I'm
have to
sure-
restrict it. You want to go into that? Tell us about it, Frank.
Incidentally, what's this? Is that supposed to button my lip or something?
I don't know. What is that, a lock?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
guess,
know.
well, we lock up at night when we go
Oh,
home.
then
I don't know
well,
what
I better-
but I never saw that before.
I might get locked into something here. I don't know what I'm doing.
They chained us down here.
Well,
That's
they
on the
forgot to
chains.
snap mine.
What's she going to say?
Well, now, as far as any additional growth to the fern, mine would grow at least a 1/16 of an inch in a month. Hers, a 32nd.
A 32nd.
Or a 64th.
Which is bigger and which is smaller?
Well, for your information, mine, I think.
Yours would do better.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Yours would do a little
It
bit
wouldn't
better.
do good, but it would
Wouldn't
do better.
do good, but it would be better. I got
Right.
it. I got it.
Okay.
And if she matches that
And
answer, I'm
if-
going to faint right here in front of you.
She'll match it, don't
All
worry.
right. You're going to say that she'll say yours would do
No
better.
question.
Let's bring her on and find out. Amanda,
Yes.
if you're still there and you're still interested, whose fern would be bigger at the end of a month?
Well, only because Frank has the greatest camellia bush in Phoenix, he would.
That's what the man said. You're absolutely right. Which means...
No doubt.
Oh, is that why you said that? Because the camellia bush...
I wasn't going to brag about
You're
that.
a star with camellia bushes, are you?
Super camellia man.
Is that right? Well, he's super with ferns today because Amanda and Frank and Janet and Gary split the opening pot, and we'll come back to find out who splits all the rest of the pots after this message for you. Come on back. See you in a minute. Question number 2 coming your way. This one's worth $150 as well. Ladies, it's addressed to you. Gene, you going to get on the boards with this one?
Yes, I will indeed.
All
yes.
right. The blue section will be glad to hear that. Girls, let's say you have a domestic problem and you want to seek advice from a friend. Would that friend be a woman or a man? Let's say you have a domestic problem and you want to seek advice from a friend. Would that friend be a woman or a man? Okay, girls, you've got the question. Think about it. We'll come back for your answers in a moment. Let's start with you, Gary, this time. Shall we do that?
I think that we communicate pretty well. I think it would be me.
Janet would come to, well, wait a minute.
To a man, to me. It
says
doesn't
would
say
you-
excluding husband,
it's-
does
no,
it?
yes, it does. It says
Oh,
you
it
want to
does?
seek advice from a friend. Now, yes, you're a friend, of course, too. But I think in
Yes,
this
but
context,
You are married,
I am,
right?
I think what we
I'm
are
first
driving
and foremost
for.
a friend.
I
and
think what
secondly,
we're
I-
driving for here is another person.
I think probably in that case, her mother has a tremendous rapport with her. I think it would be a mother.
Mothers are out, too.
No, but
She's
yes.
a friend.
No, I said a
Friend.
yeah. No, mothers are definitely not out. Don't listen
Well,
to
she
him.
has an uncle who. We don't have any friends.
I see. She'll go to anybody.
Family.
Huh?
Driving us crazy.
You're gonna say a woman then because it'll be your mother.
Yes.
I mean, I figured that out. Man would trigger.
Let's just say a
razor-sharp-
woman, all right?
Just say a
The
woman.
man told me to talk and elaborate a little bit. I didn't have much to say. I just woke up before I came in
No,
here
you
today.
did. You're doing beautifully.
We had a
Are you
long
kidding?
night last night.
You got half a pot here. Let's bring on Janet.
beg your pardon?
Let's see what she says. Janet, if you had to go to a friend for domestic advice, would it be a man or a woman?
It'd be a woman.
That's what the man said. You're right. Just as a wild shot, who would it be, Janet?
I don't know.
Thank you, Janet. You haven't shared about.
My girlfriend, maybe. I don't know.
Honey, we are a bore. We get along so great.
You're adorable. You too, Janet. All right, Frank.
That's enough of that. She hardly knows you.
Frank, what's Amanda going to say to this?
Well, of course, she knows a lot of men, I guess, after all these years, but most of the time she blabs to the gals.
You think it would be a lady friend she'd go to?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I can't help it.
No, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're wrong, the red section will beat the daylights out of you.
That's what I'm afraid of, and there's
All
some
right,
pretty biggies out there, too.
Let's bring on Amanda and see what she says. Amanda, where
Yes.
would you go for friendly advice now? Domestic advice. A man or a woman? From a friend.
I'd go to a woman.
You're right. That's what Frank said. What do you think? Do you think women respond better in that kind of a situation, or was it just because
Men
of your
don't know how
personal
to cook.
choice?
No, I think men can go to men and women can go to women easier, you know, in
Yes,
the long run.
okay.
I mean, in a domestic situation, if
You're
you've got
obviously
trouble.
right. You know what you're talking about. You have another share of the pot. Gene, are you going to get on the
Right.
board with this one? Sir.
I don't. It's. I really don't know. You know, based on the previous answers, obviously the woman would. They predominate there. I suppose my wife would go to a woman. Yes.
Think so?
She'd probably go to Mitty Gig or somebody in the next village or something like that. Mitty, what am I going to do? Yeah, that's what she'd do.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I understand. Let's bring on Helen and see what she says. Helen, for domestic advice from a friend, would you go to a man or a woman?
I'd go to a woman because most men are dumb.
You're right. She said I'd go to a woman because most men are dumb.
Atta girl, you tell him, honey.
Even I went to Mitty Gig last week.
Oh, you know Minnie too, huh?
We all?
Hey, you're all right, gang. We split that pot 3 ways. It's halftime. We'll change places, fellas. Step to the rear. The ladies will come out here. While we're doing that, we'll break away for this message, and then we'll come back with more of Tattletale. See you in a minute. We have changed places after halftime. I have the ladies out here with me where they belong. Gentlemen, are you ready to go back there?
You betcha.
Okay, we have a
Let
nice
her go.
close game. Here, this question is worth $150. This is it. Men, you develop an annoying rash in a rather embarrassing place. So you go to your doctor, and when you arrive, you discover that he is out of town for a week. Covering for him is another doctor, who turns out to be an attractive woman. Now, would you go through with your appointment or wait for your regular doctor to return? Okay? You develop an annoying rash in a rather embarrassing place, so you go to your doctor. When you arrive, you discover that he's out of town for a week.
I got it the first time.
Covering for him is another doctor who turns out to be an attractive woman. Now, would you go through with your appointment, or would you wait for your regular doctor to return? Go away and think about that one, fellas. We'll come back to your answer in just a moment. Amanda, we're going to start with you.
Oh, terrific.
How do you think Frank would handle a situation like that?
Well, Frank is a dirty old man. Now, we all know that, right?
That's been clearly established, yes.
Right. But he also is extremely modest.
He's a modest, dirty old man.
He's a modest, dirty old
I think
man.
there's a redundancy there.
He thinks he's being very subtle when he does the widow's peak, which is kind of looking down a lady's bosom. But everybody sees it.
Widow's
peak. But Frank, I think I'm sure he would wait till his regular doctor
He would.
came back to
He'd just,
town. Yes, I really do.
He'd continue
He's
to itch
so
and,
square, yeah.
and wait for the man
He
to
wouldn't
come.
have to come home. He wouldn't want to have to come home and tell me what he, had to go through. So
Yes,
he'd
right.
wait for his doctor.
Okay, all right. Let's bring on Itchy now. Frank,
Yes, sir.
what would you do in that situation? Would you go through with your appointment with that lady doctor, and or would you wait for your regular doctor to come back?
Well, I don't think I'd grin, but I believe I'd bear it.
Oh, you.
In other words, you would go through with the appointment. Is that right?
No, I wouldn't. I'd wait.
You would wait.
Sure.
You're right. You're right. That's what you said. I didn't get it for a second there. When you said grin and bear it, I thought you meant you'd take off your clothes and bear that rash. That's how I understood it. You're absolutely right, sir.
Thank you.
You just go ahead and scratch, huh, Frank?
So nerve-wracking.
You bet.
All right. You have a share of the pot. Helen, what about Jean? What would Jean do in a case like that?
Gene would not only allow her to take care of the rash, but he'd probably develop several other rashes. He would definitely let her take care of the rash because he is a dirty old man
Yes,
and he
okay.
loves the ladies.
Okay, he'll go through with the appointment with that
Absolutely.
attractive lady
Absolutely.
doctor. Let's bring on that little devil now. Gene,
Yes.
what would you do now? You've got the rash, and this lady says, hi, I'm your doctor, Phyllis. Would you go through with the appointment, or would you wait till the regular one comes back?
Well, the question implies that you'd have to disrobe completely in order for the.
Well, it
the
says a rash
examiner-
in a rather embarrassing
Yeah,
place.
To be treated and examined, you'd have to disrobe. So, I would take my clothes off and be examined by the lady if she promised to take her clothes off. too.
You're right. That's almost exactly what Helen said, in fact.
Atta way, girl.
She knows you very well, doesn't she, Gene?
Yes, indeed.
All right, you have a share of the pot, Janet. You're going to make it three ways. What's Gary going to do?
Just depends on how bad it would be. I think he would probably go ahead and keep his stuff up, upper lip and go ahead and have the examination.
Go through with the appointment,
Yeah.
huh?
He doesn't like to be uncomfortable.
Could you put that another way?
Oh, really? Okay. Let's bring him on and see what he says about it. Gary, what are you going to do now? There's that attractive lady doctor, or you're going to wait until your regular doctor comes home?
No, I believe in rashing less and enjoying it more, so I would let the woman doctor look me over.
That's what you said, and you're right. Oh, you're all smart on that one. We split that pot three ways, gentlemen. You're all absolutely correct. There it is, a very close game, in fact. We'll come back to find out who wins it with a $300 question in just a minute. Come on back. See you in a minute. Close game. Anybody can win. This question is worth double. $300 on this one. If you are ready, fellas, I am ready. Are you ready, ladies?
We're ready.
Here we go. Men, can you name more of your wife's previous boyfriends, or can she name more of your previous girlfriends? Don't say anything. Don't say a word. Can you name more of your wife's previous boyfriends, or can she name more of your previous girlfriends? Think about it, fellas. We'll come back in a moment for your answer. While they're listening to the music and can't hear his Helen, how does it go in your house?
Well, I think I can name his one girlfriend before me. Yes, I think I probably could name the ladies in his life more than he could name the men in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Which means you're just not talking, that's all.
That's right.
All right, let's bring him on and find out. Gene,
Yes.
kind of clears your sinuses, doesn't
Yes,
it? That
it
little ping. Could you name more of the men in Helen's life than she could name the girls in your life?
Well, I assume she's not going to count Mae Hess in the third grade. I hardly laid a glove on her. So therefore, that just leaves her one, I think, that she could name.
Yeah.
So I would have to say I could name more in her life than she could name.
You
Tell him,
didn't
Helen.
know anybody in my life, but I knew Pepita.
You forgot Pepita, didn't you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Forgot about her completely.
Well, Helen didn't, so there you are.
But you've aroused my libido.
That was another one, libido. I remember her. Okay, sorry, Gene. Janet, what's Gary going to say?
Well, only due to Gary's memory, I can remember more of his girlfriends than he could of my boyfriend's names.
He,
Rotten
his
memory, rotten.
Well, that can be kind of good in some cases, can't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can remember more girls in his
Right.
previous life than he can for you. Let's bring him on and find out. Gary,
Yeah.
who would remember more names from the past?
Janet would remember more of my girlfriends.
That's what the lady said. You're right.
I'm older.
Gary, why did I was just gonna say because you're
It's been around longer.
I see.
I
I
can't give
understand.
you anything clever.
You
know,
forget
it's-
them. You forget them quick. That's why.
very
You
rational.
Loved them and left them. That's what you did.
Well, listen, don't put words in my mouth,
I'm
fella.
sorry. I'm just. I didn't mean to do that at all. You ever share the pot?
A
Thank
lot
you,
of them
Gary.
have lawyers. They sue.
Amanda, what's Frank gonna say?
Well, Ashley, for the same reason, Frank has a really very bad memory. But we always marry our girlfriends and our boyfriends. Yeah, so, but anyhow, I would probably remember more of his girlfriends that really turned out to be wives than he would me. Oh, God.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
okay.
Let's bring on Frank and find out.
I don't know.
Frank,
Yes, sir.
who would remember more names from the previous dating period or whatever? You or Amanda?
I don't have a very good memory. I believe she would.
That's what you said. You're right. Absolutely right. Could have gone either way. Went that way. Amanda and Frank, Janet and Gary, you split the big pot. There it is. And that signal means our time is up. We have a tie. The banana section and the red section tie. We'll come back in a moment to find out how much they have tied for after this message for you. Come back and find out. See you in just a minute. We had a tie game today. The banana section and the red section tied. $325 apiece. We had $1,000 for a total of $1,650 divided between the two of them. Thank you all. Nice to have you with us today. Nice to have you at home too. See us next time. Won't you on Tattletales Bird County saying so long, everybody. Bye-bye.
This is Jack Clark speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.